Alright everybody, this is part 5. Again, probably not moving as fast as I want to, or obviously it's just some things take longer than others, and sometimes you just got to work through problems. So let me show you what I've done so far, and I apologize if I repeat myself from the last videos, but alright, so I got my electric fan and my motorsport radiator. So as you can see, I had to trim quite a bit. And this right here is a seal that I purchased from Flexolite. They sell it separate, and to me it makes it look very nice. Then I had to fab up some brackets. You can see it, one right there and the other one there. Alright. Let me show you. It's pretty close to the water pump pulley. Now as you can see, what I did, I put button bolts there to give me a little more clearance. I've done about 3 of these already with the fans, so although it looks pretty close, that'll be good to go. The reason why I went with this setup, obviously, because this fan is remarkable. Keeps the motor cool. And not only that, obviously I had to trim it so I could fit the radiator, overflow tank, and you know, pretty much try to keep it as stock as possible. Stock looking anyways. Alright. There I put my old catch can. Originally I was going to put it down here, but there's not enough room. So I just got this aluminum plate. Drill some holes. As you can see, that right there kind of rides right on top of the power steering reservoir, but this is pretty easy to take off, so when I refill it, or when I start it up and check it, I'll be able to disconnect that. Let's see, what about down here? Yeah, so as you can see, oh, it's a little dark, but I tapped my valve covers. I put some AN fittings on the back side. The only thing missing I have here is the clutch cable. More likely than not, I'm going to have to reroute it differently. On my Hellion kit, I had to actually run it down between the number 5th and number 6th exhaust. Right through there. And the reason being was because I learned the hard way, was that I burnt 3 clutch cable just due to the excessive heat. So when I do run it, I'll put some let's see what I got. Run over to my box. I'll put some of this that I picked from DEI just to protect it. And this actually works pretty darn good. Alright. Let's see what else. Right there, which is nice, is a fitting that I got from Jegs. It's a 3/8 NPT fitting that splits in 2. That's one. That's going to be for the blow-off valve, and I'll show you where that's at. And then on the back side, you can't see it, that's where I have my gauge is connected. My boost gauge is connected to the back side of that. So it fit pretty nice. The tree, got a couple plugs that I need to put on there. Obviously once I put the plugs, I'll put some zip ties. One thing that I just did today is I put these zip ties together. I actually saw a video on it on YouTube and I thought it was pretty cool. Came out pretty good. As you can see, I got my new compressor, AC compressor. The whole system is basically brand new, and a lot of the parts came from Four Seasons. So what's nice about it, it comes with all the seals and everything that are for the R134. As you can see, and I actually got the fluid, the pack. I can't remember whether it was 46, pack 46 PAG. And also, what I did here, there's my that's my sensor for my coolant temperature. That's actually from a BMW. So what I did, I basically tapped a hole, drilled it and tapped it. Alright, let's see what else. Maybe get a good shot of that. That's the 90-degree fitting, AN fitting that I put for the oil catch can. As you can see, I don't have a throttle body yet. I'm actually looking to see if I can source one on the corral. Let's see, again, I did the wire ties right here, and then I bent it around about 90 degrees. The reason why I did that is because I want to try to keep as much, or try to keep these wires off the downpipe. And as you can see, I put like some DEI material as an added heat barrier. I know it's not the prettiest, but again, lessons learned from my last kit. Let's see. There's my downpipe. I just plug this up here so nothing gets up in there, but let's see, this is my connector right here for my wideband, my Innovate wideband. Let's see, this clamp I'm gonna have to either turn it around or move it, because what's gonna happen is my intake piping is gonna come out of this hole, so that might get in the way. Now, right down here, it gets a little hectic. Let's see. Let me see if I get a light. A better light. All right, so there's my Pack 80. All right. There's my Volvo controller for my fan. It's just a two-speed fan, and then right there I have a relay. Everything's connected except for that green wire, and the purpose of that green wire is for once I kick on my AC, it'll go. I have it wired up where it'll go to high speed. Let's see. Another thing I had to do is I had to drill and tap so I can have my boost reference. So yeah, once I get those three or the green lines connected, it'll look a lot better. But the purpose of that is a battery isolator. So the reason why I got that on there is that once I turn off the ignition, it'll cut power to the fan. So in other words, it won't keep on running. If I have it connected to the battery, straight battery, my fan, it'll keep on running until the sensor kicks off. So with this right here, I have it wired to my ignition. As you can see down here, I don't know if I can get a better look. That's wired, those two screws, that's to my ignition. So once my ignition cuts off, this cuts the circuit. Alright, let's see. So I don't have an upper radiator hose yet. I've seen pictures, and what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the 94-95 upper radiator hose, because it fits perfectly right over this hump. One thing I haven't put on yet is my additional line for my condenser. As you can see, I still got the cover, the condenser to the compressor. That's going to be one of the last bits that I do, because what I'm going to end up doing is wrapping that line somewhat to what I did over here, but more likely than not, I'll have to double tape it. Alright, let's see, one other thing I got to do up here on top is I got to get a spacer right here just for this, because if I run it too close, the adjustment bar will be hitting the alternator right here. So I'm just going to put a spacer right in between there, if I can find one. I mean, I could probably put a set of washers, but I'd rather put some type of spacer or bushing or something. Let's see. Alright. That's pretty much what I got left on top. Alright, let's take a stroll there at the bottom. Let me lay out this cardboard here, just so I can get up underneath and get a light too. Let me show you what I've done up under here. No, I apologize. Alright, so I had to order some parts, because if you notice, the intercooler piping sits way below where it was originally intended to be. Now, you're probably asking why. Well, let me see if I can get a better shot up here. Now there is a crossover pipe. Now originally this kit, the intake piping is supposed to be above the crossover pipe. But as you can see, and I'll try to see if I can show it. As you can see, my fan would get, or the piping would get away in the fan. Now, I could have just trimmed that fan up. In fact, I asked on the corral, and this gentleman posted some pictures of how he trimmed his fan, which is okay. But I was looking for something that would not require me to trim that fan. So, and I'll show you what I did on top. I'm going to be going back and forth. So as you can see, I had to add, I bought a longer silicone sleeves and a coupling just to extend it. So what that did, that basically dropped this side down quite a bit of inches, probably about maybe 6 inches. And then I had to clock the turbo, because that right there is a 45 bend. So as you can see, I put some I put like 3 clamps down there. So in essence, it dropped my intake tube. So there it goes. I'm sorry, not the intake tube, but the coal side. So there you go. Alright, let me show. From my previous video I mentioned about getting a new or different wastegate. And there it is. As you can see, it's Precision Turbo 39mm. Might be a little small for most people, but again, I don't plan on running too much boost. Right now I believe I have a 6-pound spring on it. But as you can see, because the On3 kit comes with a 4-bolt flange, I had to buy an adapter, which is pretty slick because it's angled, so it gives you multiple ways to mount this wastegate. Now right now, the way I have it on there, I'm gonna put my tire on to make sure and I'll turn it to the left to make sure it doesn't rub against here or get in close proximity. Now here I have another tube. I have another tube that comes down here, so it's not going to blow directly on the piping. It's just I don't have it on there right now. Now as you can see, the canister, charcoal canister, originally sits right in here inboard, but it won't fit just because of my piping. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to swap it over to the outboard of this frame, and I'll set it right up in here. Let me see, and there's one of my piping. Now the kit that I bought, the individual decided to cut this right here, so it's pretty jagged. It looks like you try to file it down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put I'll probably take it to a shop, see where they clean it up, and then put a bead. Hopefully they have a bead roller. So that's another project I got to work on. Let's see what else. There's my old filter. You can see the part number. That's FL910S. Originally, that's what a lot of people on Corral had mentioned that they put on their On3 kit. When I got it, I thought it was way too small. But looking at it and comparing it, it fits perfect. Let's see. Oh, these wires here is for my purge valve for the canister. So I just got it dangling right there. Let's see. Right here is my drain pipe to the turbo. As you can see, I put some of that heat shield because it rides real close to the V-band clamp, or the clamp. It's actually resting on it, so I put that on there just to protect it. And then I have it going right here. There you go. Let's see what else. Yeah, so also right over here, this coupling here is what they call a wobble coupler. So it just gives it a little give. I think the instructions said that gives about 20 degree. That allows you, because it doesn't line up perfectly, but that wobble coupler straightens it out. Alright, so that's pretty much what I got down here. Probably on the last video you didn't see this, but I had some extra material, some exhaust wrap, so I just wrapped it around the flex coupler. I didn't put it on too tight, obviously, but I'm thankful that I did because it's pretty close to the intercooler piping. But nothing's really touching. It's pretty, I mean, I'm moving it back and forth. It's not hitting anything. Originally has quite a bit of room there. All right. Let's see what else. So that's pretty much it for now. Again, there's my Volvo controller. This is a battery that I've had sitting on the shelf. Last night I put it on the charger. So it's got 12.63 volts right now. Alright, so just a couple more things I got to do. Again, I'll have the piping coming, the intake piping come out. Once I'll probably get a 70 millimeter throttle body. Then I'll get a 45 degree and have it like a straight shot. Alright, so that's pretty much it, what I got. Hopefully in part 6 I'll have this baby started up. Okay, bye.